In today's little video, we are going to talk about how to find the equation of a line when you're given the slope and y-intercept. Remember, the equation of the line that we're talking about is slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, that big purple equation you see on the screen right now. And we're going to be given information such as the slope and the y-intercept today. Our questions are going to look like this. Write the equation of a line with slope of 4 and y-intercept of 0, negative 2. So the first thing I'm going to encourage you to do is write your original equation, y equals mx plus b. There are two important parts of this equation, the m value and the b value. And we have to think back and remember, what does m stand for and what does b stand for? Remember that m stands for slope. Right? There's slopes on the mountain, m stands for slope. And b stands for the y-intercept, or our beginning point. It's when x is 0. So now that we know that m stands for slope and b stands for the y-intercept, we're going to go back and read our original problem and try to pull out that important information. It says, write the equation of a line with slope of 4. There's my first important information. Slope of 4. And y-intercept of 0, negative 2. That's also important, that 0, negative 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to match our information with where it goes in my equation. And I used color coding and shapes to help us out. Slope of 4 is going to replace that m value because m stands for slope. And 0, negative 2 is going to replace that b value because b is our y-intercept. So we're going to take the information we're given and replace or substitute the m and b value with the numbers we're given. So instead of m, I'm going to put a 4, and instead of b, I'm going to put a negative 2. But I'm going to be careful here when I write this. Our answer is going to be y equals 4x minus 2 because it's negative 2 for my y-intercept. Because it's 0, negative 2, my b value should be minus that number. Because it's a negative intercept, it should be minus that number. Let's try it again. Write the equation of a line with slope of negative 1/2 and the point 0, 5. So notice this time it didn't say it's the y-intercept, but why do we know it's the y-intercept? If you said because x is 0, you're correct. All y-intercepts come in the form 0, the number. So again, I encourage you to write that original equation. And we're going to replace that m value and our b value. And remember that m stands for slope and b stands for the y-intercept. This is super important for today's lesson. M stands for slope, b stands for the y-intercept. So I'm going to go back and read my problem and circle and highlight the important information. It says, write the equation of a line with slope of negative 1/2. There's my first information. Slope of negative 1/2 and the point 0, 5. So that 0, 5 is also important. So I have a slope of negative 1/2 and the point 0, 5. And I'm going to replace or substitute the m and the b value in that equation with the numbers I'm given. So I ask you to really quickly think about, what do you think this answer is going to look like? If you said y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5, you're correct. Because it's a negative slope, we need to have that negative 1/2 in front of x. We have to include that negative sign because that means my line is going to be going downhill. But the y-intercept is now positive. It's a positive 5. Since it's positive 5, I can just write plus 5. Let's try one more time. And this time I tried to throw in a little bit of a confusing situation. Write the equation of a line with the slope of 6 that goes through the origin. So again, start with the equation, y equals mx plus b. Remember, m is slope and b is our y-intercept. But something weird happened in this equation. What does it mean to go through the origin? What does that mean? We know the slope. The slope is 6. It tells me that right off the bat. Write the equation of a line with slope of 6. We know that. But it says it goes through the origin. And we have to figure out, what does that mean? Where is the origin on a graph? The origin is the point 0, 0. It's that point smack dab in the middle where my axes cross. So it's the point 0, 0. So this actually does tell us our y-intercept. Our y-intercept is the origin. You just had to know that the origin is 0, 0. So now we can go ahead and continue on. We can substitute the m and the b in the equation with the numbers we're given. Our answer is going to be y equals 6x plus 0. Or you can be lazy, like math sometimes likes to be, and just write y equals 6x. Because plus 0 is adding nothing. It doesn't change the value, so it's not an important 0 for us to include. So the answer here is y equals 6x plus 0, or y equals 6x. So when we're given a slope and a y-intercept, all we have to do is replace those numbers in the original equation with where they go.